The news this morning, wife of Anambra State Governor inaugurates the first phase of healthy living with Nonye Soludo. Anambra State government awards scholarship to JAMB best candidate Ms. Nkichinyere Ume. Federal government reassures of single-digit loans for Nigerian small businesses. And from the foreign scenes, Pakistan summons United States embassy's staff over President Biden's statement and armed groups. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Uchechukwu Ebonam. Anambra State Governor's wife, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has inducted over 200 Anambra teachers from the 6 education zones in the state into her school club, Healthy Living with Nonye Soludo. The event, which took place in Oka, featured the flag off of the first phase of the introduction of Healthy Living with Nonye Soludo as a club in 200 secondary schools in Anambra State. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata reports.
The program, an initiative of Mrs. Soludo, which aimed to set up healthy living clubs in primary, secondary and tertiary institutions in the state, will serve as formative grounds for education and exposure of school children, teenagers and youths to the basics for healthy living and how to incorporate them in their daily lives. Inducting the teachers, Mrs. Soludo, who joined virtually, said her Healthy Living Club is a product of deep passion and focused to guide the students on the routines for healthy and happy life and build an army of healthy living enthusiasts, charging club members and teacher ambassadors to ensure that every club member represents the brand in character, appearance, and understanding. She reminded the teacher ambassadors of the need to carry the brand with diligence, urging them to take up their duty with commitment and groom the students in line with the standards that have been set.
To live a happy life is to live happy. Therefore, our central focus is to guide the students on the routine for healthy and happy life. We want to build an army of healthy living enthusiasts. Every student in Anambra State must be fully involved in this movement. My dear ambassadors, we are entrusting you with faith. You have been called up for something historical, a brand that you must carry with pride. I urge you to take up this duty with commitment, please.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Afam Obidike, and his youth development counterpart, Mr. Patrick Ayamba, described the initiative of the governor's wife as an important approach towards quality healthy lifestyle and called on the Anambra to support her vision to create sustainable healthy living environment.
Which is in line with the vision of Mr. Governor
Also speaking, the state coordinator Healthy Living with Nonye Soludo, Mrs. Eziwanne Oti, while outlining guidelines and vision of the club, urged the club ambassadors and students to be alive to their responsibilities in order to meet up with the expectations of the club. Responding on behalf of others, a teacher ambassador, Mr. Ugochukwu Anyafolo, and a student, Ms. Shinemerem Ofoleta, appreciated the governor's wife for the initiative for quality lifestyle. The event featured a walk on war against drug abuse. Emmanuel Shibata for ABS News.
Anambra State government has awarded scholarship to Ms. Nkichinyere Ume of Anambra State, who came tops in the 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations (UTME). Announcing the award, Governor Chukwuma Soludo, who spoke through the Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chuma-Ude, expressed satisfaction that the efforts of the present administration at repositioning this education sector is yielding the desired dividends. Nkichinyere Ume, who was earlier declared the best by JAMB, having scored a cumulative mark of 360 in the 2023 UTME, has been offered scholarship by the state government to study any course of her choice at the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University. Anambra State government has distanced itself from some award being promoted by some groups or NGOs with a bogus caption as Anambra Awards, which it noted confuses or deceives the public. A release signed by the press secretary to the governor, Mr. Christian Aborime, said the awards are scheduled to hold on 1st July 2023 at the Stanel Event Center, Oka, and disclosed that the government has received several calls from unsuspecting persons who assume that the government is involved in the awards. It explained that the state government respects free speech and the right of any individual or group to express their opinions about anyone through recognitions or awards, and for whatever purpose, but pointed out that the title of such awards or recognitions must not leave anyone in doubt that such represent the personal and subjective opinions of the awarding group or NGO. It noted that reputable newspapers and organizations give their annual Man of the Year award, but they are sincere to appropriately caption them as the Sun Man of the Year, Vanguard Man of the Year, etc., and do not caption the awards in a manner to confuse them with Nigeria's national honors, exclusively awarded by the federal government, as approved by the National Council of State. It noted that Anambra State has the state awards, which have imprimatur of the state government, and made it clear that the state government is not aware or associated with the so-called Anambra Awards. The release said that Anambra State government has a responsibility to guard against any misuse of the name of the state, especially to the unsuspecting public. Oka, the Anambra State capital, is wearing a new look following increased tempo in road construction. Works correspondent Ngozi Bleri monitored pace and quality of work on the roads across the 7 villages that make up Agolo Oka and reports.
Agolo Oka, make up of 7 out of 33 villages in Oka, has been neglected in terms of road infrastructure since the community assumed its status as the state capital. As soon as Governor Chukwuma Soludo's administration came on board, promises were made to give the community a facelift, and soon after, many roads were not just inaugurated but construction work commenced. Today, all the roads in Agolo Oka are receiving attention with construction work going on at various levels, including drainage construction, earthworks, compaction, among others. Speaking on the development, the traditional ruler of Oka, Obi Gibson Nwosu, appreciated Governor Soludo for the development which he said is very dear to Ndi Oka, noting that he is exceptionally happy that the contract was given to an Oka indigene, Engineer Clem Nwobo of MP Infrastructure. On his part, a stakeholder in Oka, Chief Obi Ochijemo, who said that the move by Governor Soludo to give roads in Oka a facelift shows that he came prepared. Chief Ochijemo enumerated roads under construction in all the local government areas of the state and commended the quality of work on the Agolo Oka roads, noting that even at the present stage and level of construction, residents of the area are sleeping soundly whenever it rains as against what it used to be. He requested for inclusion of more roads in Oka, especially the road after Samis Pako, Amikwo Oka, where he said a lot of individual efforts have gone down the drains, urging Anambra State government to intervene to save buildings in the area from collapse.
Because I just want to let the people know that it's not only Oka is doing. He's doing a great job in Anambra State. So we in Oka, we're so grateful for the man, because the man even promised that he's going to do more in Oka. So we're encouraging people to start paying revenue, paying tax, so that the man can get money he can use to work.
Another indigene of Oka, Rotarian Abuchi Nwozo, while thanking the governor for his benevolence, called on every Onyoka to support the present move to give Oka a befitting look, assuring that Ndoka will give the governor every necessary support.
And say that Oka community is very, very grateful to Governor Soludo for all he's doing in Oka community in terms of roads construction and other developments.
Others who spoke to the ABS, including Mrs. Chinwoba Mwoneke and Ugochukwu Nwume, said they were happy with development as, according to them, the contractor is carrying out a quality work on the roads, even as they asked him to increase the pace so as to alleviate their plight.
Agulanye, mostly. Because now, Obuna Obrolo Haloa, Amaramka this year, Millie this year, my mother,
in Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
The four-day Okadasin Women's Conference has ended with Thanksgiving service at St. Stephen's Church of Itedunu. The service presided over by the Archbishop of Exasco Province of the Niger and Bishop of Okadasis, Most Reverend Alexander Chibuzo Ibezim, was attended by the wife of the State Deputy Governor, Lady Oluchi Ibezim, traditional ruler of Ifitedunu, Igwe Chukwemeka Ilono, and wife, the Son Legal Team, Ladies Auxiliary, among others. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzo Koe reports.
The conference had its theme as you will eat the fruit of your labor. In a sermon, Most Reverend Ibezim said that the theme of the conference has opened the eyes of the women to what God has in stock for them as they were exposed to issues that will make them prosper, live positively, and attain eternal life. Most Reverend Ibezim highlighted some virtues that will help the women to eat the fruits of their labor, to include divine ability to work and pray, seek power to conquer challenges, and commended the president of the conference, Mrs. Mata Ibezim, for achievements in the women ministry, asking her to keep the light shining.
Fruit of your labor, the power in order to confront and destroy every Goliath that want to stop you from becoming what God want you to be.
Speaking shortly after the service, the president of the women ministry, province of the Niger and diocese of Oka, Mrs. Ibezim, thanked God for his mercies upon them and commended the reception accorded them by the people of Ifitedunu.
It is the will of God that when you sow, you will reap. But be mindful of what you sow, because whatever a man sows or a woman sows, he or she will reap.
On her part, the wife of the state deputy governor, Lady Oluchi Ibezim, asked the women ministry to always uphold the government in their prayers.
Like the team said, you shall reap the fruit of your labor. I'm advising women, just like Mamoka said, labor over your kids, labor over your husband. Every woman shall reap the fruits of her labor.
The host vicar, Reverend Canon Charles Chukura, appreciated God for the enabling grace to host the conference, which was used to evangelize and propagate the good news of Christ in Ifitedunu. Decoration of Mrs. Patience Uchemefuna as the profile mother and 18 others as mother of faith also featured at the event. The cutting of the cake and thanksgiving by the women and members of the Holy Trinity Church Ifitenibo that will host the next year's Oka Diocesan Women's Conference also featured during the service. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
From the federal scenes, in commemoration of the 2023 World Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Day, Vice President Kashim Shettima has announced the federal government's commitment to facilitating swift access to single-digit loans for Nigerian small businesses. The Vice President disclosed this in a statement issued by the Director of Information, Office of the Vice President, Olushola Abiola, in Abuja. The Vice President recognizes the crucial role of MSMEs in driving economic growth, job creation and innovation. Shettima emphasized the government's dedication to providing support, creating an enabling environment and improving financial access for MSMEs, particularly during these challenging times. We remain committed to providing support, fostering an enabling environment, and improving access to finance for MSMEs, especially in these unprecedented times. He urged all stakeholders to come together to champion the growth and success of MSMEs to achieve sustainable development for all, while they also recognize the plethora of issues that face MSMEs as a result of the subsidy removal, noting that the government is working urgently to ensure quick access to single-digit loans for Nigerian small businesses within the shortest time possible. On business news, French President Emmanuel Macron said he would double state funding for upgrading transport in the country's double-troubled second city, Marseille, where 23 have been killed in drug gang tough wars so far this year. Everything has to move still faster in Marseille, Macron told regional daily La Province as he began a 3-day visit to the Mediterranean port city, whose regeneration is one of his pet projects. The trip comes as Macron pushes to move the political conversation on from his bitterly opposed pension reform, raising the retirement age to 64, which brought millions out in multitude nationwide protests. From Pakistan, Pakistan's foreign minister has summoned the United States Embassy's deputy chief of mission to express concern over a statement last week by U.S. President Joe Biden and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi that called on Pakistan to ensure its territory was not used as a base for attacks by armed groups. The U.S.-India statement was released after a meeting between Biden and Modi at the White House and received criticisms from Pakistan, which called it contrary to diplomatic norms. U.S. State Department spokesperson Matt Miller told reporters in a daily news briefing that Pakistan had taken important steps to counter armed groups, but said Washington advocated for more to be done. Relations between India and Pakistan have been fraught for years. Since independence from Britain in 1947, India and Pakistan have fought 3 wars, 2 of them over the Muslim-majority Himalayan region of Kashmir, where they both claim in full but rule in part. Pakistan's army claimed 2 civilians were killed by Indian forces in firing across the line of control, the de facto border in Kashmir, the first such conflict since a ceasefire in 2021 between the 2 nuclear-armed South Asian neighbors. From the world of sports, former world champion Carl Froch believes that current world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury can only cement his legacy if he secures wins against Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. The WBC winner has not fought since his 10th round TKO of Derek Chisora in December 2022. Fury was in line to fight Usyk in April, but the fight fell through in March after the pair was unable to agree terms. The 24-year-old then claimed to send a draft contract to Joshua in May for a fight in September, but promoter Frank Warren has since confirmed that the fight will not be happening next for Fury. For Froch, though, who was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame earlier in June, Fury must fight both Joshua and Usyk before he retires if he wants to earn his place as the best fighter in modern heavyweight boxing. To end the news, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS TV from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ANAMBRA Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Television Oka. You can also tweet us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and also on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points that made the news this morning. Wife of Anambra State Governor has inaugurated first phase of healthy living with Nonye Soludo. Anambra State Government has awarded scholarship to term best candidate Miss Nkechinyere Ume. Federal government has reassured of single-digit loans for Nigerian small businesses. And from the foreign scenes, Pakistan has summoned United States Embassy staff over President Biden's statement on armed groups. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. That's all on the news this morning. My name is Uchechukwu Ebonam. Thank you so much for staying with us. Be good.